talking about? Okay.
The next is, Mud River Volunteer Fire Department, they purchased a generator. And you all had approved that each fire department could purchase a generator. However, this was done, back at least in the last fiscal year, 2012-13, and they just turned the bill in. So even though you approved it, and there was money, now that line item, there's not, that money's not there in that line item.
Did you speak to the prosecutor about this or no?
No.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
Well, that was the question that I had, that I wanted to bring to the commission, was even though we approved it, they didn't go ahead and purchase it within the fiscal year, so where does that leave
I
us?
think they purchased, they just didn't give us the deal.
Oh,
That's probably,
okay.
yeah, probably, they probably actually did purchase it, but we just got the bill. So,
We need to pay the bill.
I think we need to.
Okay, let's just make sure maybe we send them a note and everyone kind of listen to this, that we really need these bills submitted within the fiscal year, that you make the expenditures. It makes it a lot easier on us as far as the paperwork and things of that nature. And it's more appropriate that way also.
And they should have a purchase order, really, is what they should.
Right.
That way you can track it from year to year.
Right.
so now the next step is this is question to decide, but, do we just take it out of the contribution line item, or do you want to consider that kind of stuff? Training and aviation, did we?
Is that,
Yeah.
how do we pay the other?
No, she did.
Yeah, the contribution.
It came out of contribution,
We'll just- we'll
remember
take it.
last year we had the money in contribution, it's different,
So
so.
we can take it out of contributions and go with
And
that.
if you want to, I mean, we have,
generator department.
No.
We can make it.
yeah, we need to do a budget transfer.
There's a motion to go ahead and pay for this generator.
Motion.
I say,
Is that all yes?
Yes.
Okay. The next is, to open McCorkle Road to West Virginia Route 214 for the Hatfield McCoy Trail.
That just a request that, our director of the Hatfield McCoy system asked that we consider. He thinks it will help make this a much better system if we can open up that and be open to everybody from 14 to the quarter.
It's also, you know, I've been thinking, now that we're on this, because I was going to ask for a motion that may affect both these, but I haven't talked with Mr. Lust about this, and of course it was my intention, I think I've already said, to go ahead and make this change, but in talking with different people in the area and also along Route 3, I'm wondering if we ought to, first of all, I think anything we do like this, we probably ought to go ahead and ask for community input on it, for maybe for a month, and see what they say about it. And I would want to make a comment that I really think we need to look seriously at Route 3 as far as making it ATV friendly near the trailhead over there. It will help people that live in that area access the trailhead. It also helps them develop businesses along Route 3 that the Hatfield McCoy people that travel that route would be able to access and things of that nature. Any thoughts that you all have?
That's a good
I just-
idea, I think.
well, I think we put the cart before the horse, definitely on the McCorkle issue. There is no business in McCorkle right now. You know, the trailhead is on Route 3, and understand it's not a toll road. I mean, you know, Boone County doesn't get a service fee every time somebody rides that. The money that you make is when people come in and buy a license to ride the Hatfield McCoy Trail. And it's also whenever they come in, they spend money in the business. Now, if you're familiar with Route 3, if you're familiar with Ivy Branch, the closest business to Ivy Branch is on the alcohol side. Okay, people are not riding back to Julian to get any type of food or service, and the reason for that is because there's businesses there. You have a gas station, you have, was it L&D's Kitchen? You know, that, you know, whenever I think of trying to serve a purpose with this opening up roads, that's what we're talking about. And that is, I would say, in my opinion, that is where we need to go right now. McCorkle Road, we shouldn't even be addressing that. I mean, we should be addressing the area that has business set up. And I think that we need to offer this out to public comments, and I think we need to say, from Ivy Branch Road on Route 3 to the Lincoln County line, which is not very far past the gas station. And I think that's what we need to do currently. And as this thing builds, then we can look at other things. I don't think what we should be doing right now is just throw out ordinances or throw everything against the wall to see what sticks. I think we need, if we're smart about this could really help us out. But we have to be smart about it, and we have time. This is not a sprint. This is a marathon. And I really believe what we need to do, and I'm going to ask President Vance, is if we could table this item, and on the next, and also on the next agenda, have the Ivy Branch Road to the Lincoln County line on Route 3 put on there, and offer public comments for both.
I would want to make another comment concerning the Route 3 is that it would be my intention, and I haven't really talked much with the commission about this, but having worked with Hatfield McCoy for several years on their board, is it would be my intention to advertise the Ivy Branch system as being the closest system to the west. So we can get traffic up from Route 10, up from Barbersville, up through Route 3 and areas like that. Because it is, if you look at basically the travel routes, if we can get people not thinking about going to Charleston on 64 and down 119, but we could get them thinking about, and this can be done, I think we could work with our EDA and with Hatfield McCoy and basically set it up to where that would be the preferred route from the west. And we get, knowing that there's a lot of people travel the I-64 down 119, this would put the travel through Hamlin, through West Hamlin. And that's the way you help these businesses out. You try to establish not only where the riders are staying and where they ride, but also how they get there. And so it'd be my intention if we could make the Route 3 area more ATV friendly, then it would allow us to also advertise that a little better when we go to try to go into Huntington and Barbersville and make the point that if you want to ride Hatfield McCoy, the quickest place to ride is Ivy Branch. And that's, you know, Huntington's one of the bigger cities we have to deal with, and we are already in close proximity to Charleston. So I think in doing that and making a push to, and even put a link on our site here at the courthouse to Hatfield McCoy saying this is the best route to come through. And that directs, that's what happened with Gilbert and some of those places, and even with Maitland, is that if you can get the traffic coming through there, then you got people seeing the traffic, they know how many, you know, they know what kind of business is going right by their door every day. Or what may go by their door every day, and they're more likely to start new businesses. So it would be, you know, I think my way of thinking, it would be the best for our county to maximize what that trail system can do for the county, and making sure that people know how to get there through the county and not around the county.
And it would be, and I don't want to interrupt here, but, and it would be nice if we could work with the Hatfield McCoy Trail and at the entrance of 119 have a welcome center. I'm not talking about 3 miles down the Corporal Road or 2 miles down the Corporal Road in the middle of houses where there's houses everywhere. I'm talking about having a welcome center on 119. So people, that's the first thing that you want to see. And we all have to understand, I mean, I live close to this place. There's access roads besides going up Ivy Branch Road. There's access roads where you don't even have to go down the Corporal Road. And I've explained this, and I've been explaining this to Jeff Loves. He understands, he's seen this. And you can see it on Google Earth. Okay, all you gotta do is type in Dinky Road. Alright? And go around the mountain. It takes you right in to Hatfield McCoy Trail. I've showed Doc Vance. And this would alleviate a lot of the problems that we're having. And I think that this, saying that this is a marathon, this is going to take some time to do. But I don't think that what we need to do is jump the gun and have the OK Corral right now.
So what did you suggest you wanted to do?
I would like to table this item, and I would like to put on the agenda for the next meeting from the Lincoln County line to the to the Ivy Branch Road on Route 3 to open it up for public comments. or both?
I really have no problem in tabling and doing that, but I would like to get public comments on the McCorkle Road also, just so people have input. Mr. Prideville?
The trailhead is in Boone County on Route 3. The gas stations is in Lincoln County, so you would have to go by the line to Woodville.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, it would go to the
Right.
county line.
okay,
So we'll go
So the rest of, yeah. Across the road from the rest.
right. So we have to go to Morrisville,
Yeah.
basically to Morrisville Bridge?
Mhm.
All right.
What
I was looking, you know, because you're coming in, you come in, you go out, but that's,
But you get same to the line,
right,
you're gonna have to go beyond the line.
right, have to go behind the line, yeah.
Yeah.
But when do you go to the Morrisville Bridge?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't have
yes,
From the line.
I'm driving it right now.
Are we putting on public review Route 3 and the McCorkle? I didn't know, you said both, but I didn't understand for sure what they.
Well, I think he basically wanted to put the Route 3 on, and I thought we maybe ought to put both of them on to, as far as public comment. But you want to wait till the next meeting to put it on for public comment, is that correct? Or, I mean, to do anything as far as.
Right, right, yeah, table all this, put it on public comment, let the public speak.
What, do you want to table it and put it on public comment now, or wait and put it on for public comment at the next meeting? I mean, how do you feel about that?
We'll put it on for public comment at the next meeting,
Okay.
all right? And that way everybody can start talking about it, it'll be in the paper.
So basically, what I would ask for is a motion to put off the discussion of the trail systems access till the next meeting, or to table this till the next meeting. Is there a motion?
I move.
Is there a second? Is there a
I
second?
second guess myself by doing this, but I just, you know, our visions are similar, but they're certainly not the same. I want what's best for Lincoln County. I want industry. I don't know how you bring something to McCorkle area unless you give them an opportunity. I don't think it'll come until the opportunity is there. And I think that's why we're slamming the door, sorta, is that we're saying, well, let's don't do anything till we see something built. You know, if you don't give them the opportunity to have roads and people in there, there's never gonna be bedding and things like that built. So I just think that we just need to be careful. I don't wanna do anything to hurt anybody's own agenda. I don't wanna do anything to hurt the people's opportunity over there. Certainly don't wanna do anything to hurt Lincoln County, but if, always follow my president's advice. If he thinks that we need to wait, I'll wait. So I'll second that motion.
Is that no, yes?
Yes.
Thank you all. And what we'll do at the next meeting, we'll basically decide on, as far as the comment period and things like that, as far as, because I do think it's important that, although, you know, it's up to us to make the decision, we have to make our decision based upon, as Mr. McCann said, what's best for the county. And I'm sure we all want to hear from those people that will be involved, that will be affected by it. So that's really the reason I would like to look at it over a period of time and get input and things of that nature. But as I've stated before, the more roads that you can open up into this, the more benefits you can actually see from the system. The more valuable people's properties are along these systems if they can access the system directly from their home, or wherever they're going to build enterprises and things like that. So that's something that we should all keep in mind when we look at this. Thank you all.
The next thing on the agenda is dilapidated buildings. I've had several people in the last 2 weeks come in and want to know who replaced Steve McComas.
There hasn't been anyone that's replaced Steve McComas. Mr. Browning has been doing the building permits. I think he's taken over that.
From the day I started, I did building permits and floodplain management.
Okay, I had no idea. But after Mr. McComas retired,
Yeah.
he was on the board for the dilapidated buildings, am I correct?
He was the chairman of the committee, and he stayed on, even after he retired from building permits, he stayed on as chairman until a couple months ago. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly when Steve left.
That's just an appointed organization.
Is it appointed by the commission?
Yes.
Well, why don't we advertise for that?
Is that okay? Do I have a motion to go ahead and advertise the position?
So moved.
Second?
And no, yes?
Yes.
So we'll go ahead and advertise that as, what did he call himself? I mean, what was the position name that he had? Was he an inspector or something?
No,
Lifetime building?
Steve's was just chairman.
They have a
They was
five-member
initials
board, I
there.
believe.
So we're just gonna, are we just gonna now we need somebody to do the job, but do we advertise for a board member, or do we advertise, I mean, for
State,
someone?
state code specifies that certain members have to be from certain walks of life.
Like I said, we need to
Fire-
determine
fire
the
chiefs.
vacancies we have.
Okay,
Cause there's a.
We just had to review state code and see exactly what.
Charles Nolan, is that his
came
name?
on, so.
Yes, he
Yeah.
came in, he's on the board, I guess, too,
Okay,
and so he wanted to know who was gonna,
well, I think we need to go ahead with it, we just need to see what the legal procedure would be for that, which is the way we should go.
You had like a fire chief, you had,
That's why I say
another
before
control
we
officer,
advertise, we want to
two
know
members at large.
okay.
What position he held and what one we need to replace.
Okay.
Reasonable
The father-
engineer.
The file that was over there that Steve had, I gave to
Yeah.
Mary. So.
Okay.